Hammer. Take the hammer out. Midnight hammer.
Good evening, everyone.
7 o'clock.
Welcome to the regular public meeting of March 9, 2026 of the Township Council of the Township of Washington. Adequate notice of the meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the Township Clerk on January 8, 2026 to at least 2 newspapers, and this meeting has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, electronic message board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Please notify the municipal clerk for any disability requirements necessary for attendance at Township Council meetings. The fire exits are located through the double doors to your right and through the door on your left. Please silence all cell phones. If you are unable to attend the council meeting in person and would like a topic to be addressed at a council meeting, please visit www.twpofwashington.us, Contact Us tab, click on Mayor and Council, send email to contact all council members at once. Could everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Here.
Councilman Sears.
Here.
Councilman Oman.
Here.
Councilwoman Velez.
Here.
Council President DeSena.
Here. Let the record reflect also in attendance Mayor Peter Calamari, Township Administrator Mark DiCarlo, Township Attorney Siobhan Bailey. Mr. Corcoran is not on yet via Zoom, and Township Clerk Susan Witkowski. Tonight, we will recognize the 2025-2026 VFW Program awardees for Township residents. In the 2025 Voice of Democracy High School Audio Essay Contest winners are first place, Maeve Dorfler is an 11th grader from IHA, and second place was Madeline Schleller, 11th grader from IHA. The 2025 Patriots Penn Middle School Essay Contest winner was Janki Dobaraya from 7th grade at WRMS Westwood Regional Middle School. Third place was Agna Patel, 7th grader from Westwood Regional Middle School. And our 2025 Teachers of the Year winners for high school, we have Caitlin Bonanno from IHA, Anne-Marie Castellini from Westwood Regional Middle School, elementary school, Barnett Goldman from Westwood Elementary.
They're not here tonight.
They're not all here tonight. So
Sorry.
if I called out your name, if you could come up.
Those are the names you need.
Could we have
Madeline,
the VFW members come
Yankee,
up?
Agna, and Anne Marie, come up, please. Come up.
Sit down. Sit down.
I got Anne Marie. Yours. So we have a little certificate presented to all our winners. They did a marvelous job. The essays, I got to hear them at the actual award dinner. Thank you for the invite by the VFW, Mr. Sears. They were fantastic. Great job, everyone. Mr. Sears?
Yes, I just want to say that our VFW post is going above and beyond our normal town. We've been reaching out to other communities to get the patriotism, the voice of democracy, the Patriots pen. We have lost so many VFW posts in Pascack Valley that the members here have agreed that we will reach out to other towns and other high schools to bring the voice of democracy. And some of these essays were unbelievable. We have actually had a state winner, a District 2 winner, and I can congratulate all of you and the teachers. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for them motivating the kids to do this, the awards go from $500, and if you continue getting the award, it could go up to $30,000 if you get to the state. So congratulations to all the winners, and thank you so much.
Yes, I'll just echo what Councilman Sears had to say. Congratulations, great job by everyone. And thank you all for whoever's here for them to show your appreciation of them. So thank you.
For your support. Thank you.
Did you get a picture?
Do we got a picture
Do
of?
we have one?
Tom,
No, I'll take it. I got it. Sorry, excuse me.
Better go to the podium.
Thank you.
Look at Dave.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
I'll AI it.
Would you like to ask somebody?
It's
Tom, you want to get these things too?
Yes, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. At present time, we will make appointments to the fire department. We have a membership application for Jaciel Galasso for the Township of Washington Volunteer Fire Department. Motion to approve his nomination.
So moved.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. You're going to administer the oath of office?
The mayor. Mayor, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
If you can come up, we'll administer the oath of office.
Hello.
Yeah, I got a pen right here.
Thank you.
Where's he live?
What is it here? I don't know. 17675 Westwood.
Repeat after me. I
Tim Galasso,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I do solemnly swear
and that I do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
as a volunteer member of
as a volunteer member of Township of Washington Fire Department
in the Township of Washington,
in the Township of Washington,
in the County of Bergen,
in the County of Bergen,
in the State of New Jersey,
in the State of New Jersey,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Payment of bills, resolution number 26-171, authorized payment of bills January 29, 2026 through March 5th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion?
Motion to second.
I
Mr.
did.
Cassio and Mr. Sears.
Sorry.
Sir. Roll call?
Councilman Cassio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Public service announcement for March 9, 2026. Construction has begun on the new DBW building at Town Hall. With this construction, the DBW yard will now remain closed on Tuesdays for household debris and recycling drop-off. Residents may still drop off items on Saturdays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Please note, during the hours of construction, there will be limited parking to the east side of Hudson Avenue. The 2026 animal license renewals are now due. The late fee is now $25. As part of their efforts to identify lead service lines in our community, Veolia Water New Jersey has contracted with Meter Tech to assist with an in-home inspection of water meters to determine if your home is served by a lead service line. Please be advised, inspectors will be knocking on doors in an effort to schedule an appointment as a follow-up to letters that were sent to your home. The police department is aware of this. Please visit our website for further information. New law regarding public notices. Governor Murphy signed into law on June 30th, 2025, a new law which reflects the transition from traditional print newspaper to online platforms as of March 1st, 2026. You will find on our township website a tab on the homepage named Public Notices, where all official public notices are required to be posted and may be obtained or viewed. These documents, in addition, will have a hyperlink to the Secretary of State's public notice webpage. The Spring Into Wellness 5K Run, Walk, and Health Fair is taking place on Sunday, May 17th. Registration is open and sponsorship opportunities are available. Please visit the township website for more details or contact Councilwoman Velez. Our next council meeting will be held on Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Okay. Approval of minutes. Regular meeting, conference meeting, May 5th, 2025. Regular meeting and conference meeting, June 2nd, 2025. Regular meeting, June 23rd, 2025. Regular meeting and conference meeting of August 11th, 2025. Regular meeting and conference meeting of September 8th, 2025. The regular meeting and conference meeting of September 22nd, 2025. The regular meeting and conference meeting of October 6th, 2025. The regular meeting of October 20th and conference meeting of October 20th, 2025. Do I have a motion to
So
accept
moved.
the minutes?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Regular meeting and conference meeting of May 19th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Recuse.
Abstain, if you're not.
Abstain.
Abstain would be better. Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Regular meeting and conference meeting of July 14th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Regular meeting and conference meeting of November 10th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it. Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Abstain.
Councilman Sears.
Abstain.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. The regular meeting of November 17th, 2025, with no conference meeting that night. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Abstain.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Report of the administrator.
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, everyone. This is my follow-up from Township meeting of February 2nd. There were no resident or council follow-ups. A couple of updates. The Township has received our New Jersey Economic Development Authority HDSRF grant reimbursement of $83,951 for our costs associated with the preliminary investigation of the swim club soil contamination. Township has received our final reimbursement of $47,512.50 for the New Jersey DOT grant associated with the resurfacing of Coolidge Avenue. And the township is currently out to bid for the Musquapsink Brook Restabilization Project. Bid opening is scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. That concludes my update.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. Report of the mayor. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Mike. Evening, everyone. The administrator and I were invited to and attended Representative Josh Gottheimer's 5th District Mayor's meeting this morning. Much of the conversation was about grants, which our grant writer is aware of and applies for where applicable. It was both an honor and a pleasure to read to the 4th graders at George School last week for Read Across America Week. We continue to work on online pet registrations. I want to commend our DPW, fire, ambulance, and police departments on jobs well done during the several snowstorm events that took place last month. For those of you who may not be aware, our ambulance and fire departments had members on standby during those events. Standby includes members who took even more time away from their families and slept in their respective facilities to respond if needed on a moment's notice, something they could not have done at their previous buildings. We owe them debts of gratitude for their service. It was a pleasure to host another Ramadan service in town. Unfortunately, our summer rec program will no longer be hosted by the Bethany Community Center. However, the program director is working on another program to serve the children of our community. We have researched and are entering into another shared service with Bergen County to utilize their fiber internet service. I was happy to meet with 2 scouts to review their Eagle Scout projects. I gave permission to one of them to do more work in Lincoln Park to make it a more inviting place to visit. He will be working with Councilman Sears and the Green Team on the project. The other one will be doing a series of presentations to our seniors on basic ideas of technology while also teaching awareness to help overall knowledge. The project will have a curriculum that will cover 4 different topics. They are cell phone usage, spam and scams, email, and social media. At the request of the council, the administration and I, along with the police department, did a comparison study of outsourcing our dispatch operations. I'm happy to report that our in-house dispatch operation compares quite favorably on a cost basis, and our current one outperforms on every other metric. The largest 2 are A, having a location that is staffed 24 by 365 should our residents need to come to the police department for an emergency or non-emergency issue outside of business hours, Monday to Friday. And B, our civilian dispatch officers are specifically trained in our active shooter protocols. Recreation news. The 2025-2026 basketball program playoffs will be starting soon. I want to wish good luck to all the teams. If you are interested in volunteering for the lacrosse program for the upcoming season, please contact the Superintendent of Recreation, Dan Scudieri. A background check for all volunteers 18 years of age and older is required. The Fun with Art and Fun with Cartooning program registrations opened on Monday, January 26th, and will end on Friday, March 13th. The Men's Over 33 softball program registration opened on Monday, February 16th, and ends on Friday, April 3rd. Police Department news. Chief Pecora and Captain Glock attended a meeting with Westwood Regional High School regarding a new camera system. The department navigated 2 major snowstorms, and their 2025 Tahoe is officially in service. Fire Department news. For the month of February, the department responded to multiple reports of odors of natural gas, fire, and CO alarms, 1 runaway boiler, a water leak, a reported wire on fire, and smoke in a garage. On February 21st, they responded to a vehicle fire parked close to a house. The fire was quickly extinguished with no damage to the home. The department was called for mutual aid to Oradell for coverage during a working house fire. They also held a few standbys this winter. Some of the volunteers spent the nights in the firehouse during the snowstorms we experienced. They do this to ensure a swift response should a call come in. The department will hold their annual pancake breakfast on Sunday, March 29th, starting at 8 a.m. They hope to see a lot of their friends and neighbors come out for this event. DPW news. February saw multiple winter events. The crews were primarily occupied with cleanup and snow removal. They assisted with the celebration for Ramadan. The employees are or have completed their annual safety training, and the crews have also spread over a ton of blacktop repairing potholes. Public Affairs. Public Affairs is pleased to report that the We Love Our Residents weekend held in February was a tremendous success. We would like to extend our sincere thanks to all the vendors and residents who joined us and took advantage of various giveaways and community offerings throughout the weekend. The strong participation and positive feedback reflect the continued enthusiasm and engagement of our community, and we are grateful to everyone who helped make the event so well received. Looking ahead, Public Affairs is currently focused on planning 2 major upcoming community events. Preparations are underway for the Township's Memorial Day Parade, which will honor and recognize the service and sacrifice of our veterans and active duty military members. In addition, significant efforts are being dedicated to organizing the Township's July celebration, commemorating the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding. This milestone event will be a large-scale community celebration, and Public Affairs is actively coordinating programming, partnerships, and logistics to ensure a memorable and meaningful experience for our residents. The department will continue to provide updates as planning progresses and looks forward to bringing these important community events to fruition. Zoning Office, there were a total of 24 zoning applications reviewed for the month of February. Library. February, the library featured some exciting new programs like their Backyard Bird Count, a grant-funded program helping new and experienced birders to the remarkable species native to our area. Their new Mahjong classes filled up very quickly, and they are adding more at a variety of times to keep up with the demand. A variety of craft programs like their adult watercolor class and teen Lego build night were also featured in February. March brings back some classics. They will be hosting the Ridgewood Irish Step Dancers on Saturday, March 14th at noon, and the annual Maker's Day event on Saturday, March 21st. So please stop by and check their website for a full list of programs and events. Municipal Alliance. They have been in touch with the high school guidance team to plan this spring's drunk driving and prom safety events. Footprints for Life, which is an anti-bullying program, will be returning to third graders in the next few weeks, one of the programs that teachers look forward to every year. They are finalizing plans for Junior Police Academy and Safety Town. They will be meeting with the police chief soon to review some possible social outreach and education. Lastly, Municipal Court. 247 total traffic tickets were issued in January, with 212 from the Township of Washington Police Department and 35 from the State Police. The court collected $4,575.33 in revenue to the township. Thank you, Mike. That completes my report.
Thank you. Report of the council, Ms. Velez.
Yes, thank you. So I'm also going to start with the We Love Our Residents event. That was always it's a nice thing that we brought back after COVID. So I want to thank Sasha Lopez, Director of Public Affairs, for everything she did and her team to coordinate the Row House, Originals, and David's Bagel. I know I saw a bunch of kids at the pizzeria as well as David's Bagel enjoying that weekend. In terms of budget meeting, I think we did a great job at the last budget meeting, really progressing. I do want to emphasize my desire to have the department heads attend our meetings. I think it's important for transparency that our residents as well as council to understand what their needs are, where the funding is going, and why they need increases or decreases in certain line items. So I would like to see them attend the budget meetings when it is their time. As mentioned in the PSA, the Spring into Wellness 5K Run, Walk, and Health Fair is taking place on May 17th. It is going to be hosted out of the library parking lot, so thank you to the library for partnering with us this year. It is going to be a modified route, same as last year, but just the start finish will be a little different. We are once again partnering with the De Novo Harriers Running Club. They are bringing back the beginner program, which helps residents or anybody interested in joining their program learn to run a 5K. The program starts on March 21st. It's a great opportunity to become a runner slowly, easily, and safely. Registration is open. There are early bird prices right now. Sponsorship opportunities are available, and we're still looking for health vendors. So if any of that interests you, please look on the township website for all the details. I also want to thank all the emergency service departments for their efforts over the last two storms. We really appreciate your work, and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you for all the hours that you put to being out there and away from your families. And I am a volunteer on the Public Affairs Committee, and I'm working with them on the 250th anniversary. And a offer that was brought up was for the council to potentially grill in an effort to bring the community together to show council participation. So if any member of council would like to grill, I think it'll be nice. We used to, well, not me, but council used to do it at Town Day before it became so large. So I think it's great for you guys or us to do it together. The date is July 11th. So if you want to save the date on your calendar, any help would be appreciated. And then last but not least, as the mayor mentioned in his report regarding the summer camp, I am very disappointed that this is happening to our kids, especially so quickly and with now enough notice. I wish they would have phased us out, but that didn't happen. And I wanted to just share my displeasure with how that all went down. It's not only affecting our kids, but it's also affecting our teens that look forward to the job opportunities. I know Mr. Pinto is going to do a great job and still give us quality program, but I don't appreciate the haphazard, or maybe I shouldn't say haphazard, but the lack of notice just months away from the program. So, and that is my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sears?
Thank you, Council President. The Public Service Gas and Electric Energy Efficiency Program that the Green Team started will be kicking off in March again. We will offer light bulbs, power saving bars, and other, hopefully will save your electricity, but I did get my public service gas and electric bill today, and let me tell you something. I could have bought a car, you know? I can't believe the cost of it. But anyway, we will stop that program again. Hopefully, we can reduce some cost of electricity. I met with Professor Sands down in the Montclair State University. We're going to do an environmental project this year. I have a meeting next week with the 4 graduate students that are going to work on environmental issues. Carbon monoxide, trying to replace our tree canopy in the township. So I will keep everybody up to date on that. I was honored to attend an Eagle Scout ceremony for 2 scouts that got their Eagle Awards. Then I was able to attend the Weeblos going from their Cub Pack over to the Scout Pack, which was really an amazing event that the Scout Troop 228 held. And I also attended the Matchbox races that were pretty cool. I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of excitement there Saturday at the high school. The Green Team is meeting this Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the library to set up our project for this year. We are going to focus on all natural plants, as what the governor put into law, that we should be working on all native plants for New Jersey. So we will be working up a time frame on that. VFW Post 6192 was asked to help out from the county sheriff on doing a clothing drive for homeless veterans and the Paramus home. I can happily say that I was amazed. The residents and non-residents delivered 43 bags of coats, socks, scarves, and it was distributed throughout the community. It was amazing to see that many people show up, and I really, truly thank you as post commander, and I'm sure these veterans were pretty warm. Some of these coats were brand new. People actually bought brand new coats and socks. So thank you very much. Again, I'm going to echo what Councilwoman said about Bethany. I can't say community center anymore, but the way we were treated, it was not well received to leave us out in the cold like that. And I'll just leave it as that. Property evaluations, I have received numerous complaints about how the evaluation was completed and done. Some of the properties went from $650,000 to $1.2 million. I can't understand how that would jump that high. Some of the concerns when they talked to the gentleman here was, well, we base it on how you could sell your house. So I thought we hired the guys to do evaluations. I hope we didn't hire a real estate agent, because if you're basing your property increases on how you can sell your house, I don't think that's going to fly. There were also complaints where the property was measured wrong and there was no feedback on they were going to correct it. This is just one of 10 complaints I've got so far. Hopefully that they went to, I told them all to go to the county at this point if they don't have any resolution. And that's all I have today. Thank you, Council President.
Mr. Cascio?
As always, much has been said already, and I'm not going to repeat it, but with the change of daylight savings time, please be aware that you have to drive more cautiously with the sun coming up in the morning for the students out there. So just be aware that you must be a little bit more cognizant of that. Other than that, I have nothing else to say.
Mr. Ullman?
Yeah, thank you, Council President. The only thing I'd like to say is I know there is a discussion about having the department heads at the budget meetings. I don't believe it has anything to do with transparency. I believe it has to do with the way the council wants to operate. I think that the administration prepares a budget and they have a strong working knowledge of the budget, which is why it's being presented to us. So to say it's transparency, I think is, misleading. I think it's how the council wishes to operate. I believe in our form of government, the administration provides the council with the budget, and we have these meetings to go through it. So, I'm of the opinion that if the council, the majority of the council feels that the department heads do not need to be present and present, that should be the will of the council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ullman. So very quickly, it was an honor to read to the third grade class at Jesse F. George for Read Across America last Wednesday morning. Happened to be my oldest son's third grade teacher, so it was great to go back and see her again. April 18th will be Washington Township Baseball Softball Opening Day at Clark Field. Events start at 10 a.m. and will run all day long. I'm very disheartened about the summer camp. I know a lot of people reached out to me, and I made my case that I only found out 2 hours before the public found out. It's just a sad thing that our children are going to lose out. I know Mr. Pinto and the whole department and all the counselors did a great job at the Bethany, so we'll leave it at that. And I just want to thank all our departments for such a great job that they've done over the last few storms. They really handled it. The only complaint I got from a lot of residents was we didn't plow curb to curb, so the streets were very narrow, and there was a lot of accidents in town. Unfortunately, that people lost their cars, but that's unfortunate. So maybe next time we could plow a little wider. That's the only complaint I got. Moving on, general public comment period. Motion to open the public comment period.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and address anything that is not on the agenda? Mr. Pecora, Chief Pecora?
Hi, Chief Pecora, Washington Township PD. I have William Billius from the Fire Department and Dan Scuderi from the Department of Public Works. We are here tonight to directly address our concerns that department heads may not be able to participate in budget and capital discussions regarding the Fire Department, Department of Public Works, and Police Department. As public servants, we don't just accept budget oversight, we welcome it. We look forward to representing our respective departments at upcoming meetings to provide the clear, data-backed explanations our residents deserve. Transparency is not just a goal, it is our responsibility. We recognize that every dollar we request is a dollar earned by the taxpayers of Washington Township. As this is my first budget as chief, I'm committed to a partnership with this council that prioritizes both elite service and fiscal discipline, as are my fellow department heads. We are ready to come to any budget meetings in order to provide answers and collaborate for the continued betterment of Washington Township. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Would anybody else like to come up and address the council at this time? Go ahead, sir. Could you just state your name, please?
Sure. My name is Michael O'Neill. I live in 62 Northgate Road.
Good evening, Mr. O'Neill.
Nice to meet you guys. I appreciate your time. Quick question in regards to the affordable housing on the corner of Washington and Pascack Road.
Excuse me, could you speak into the mic? I know you're very tall. I'm sorry.
But this is in regard to the affordable housing on Pascack and Washington.
At 660
Yes.
Pascack.
Okay. We received a letter of certified mail, and I just want to clarify one line. It said they were going to do a minimum of 7 affordable houses. Is it going to be a minimum or maximum of 7?
The minimum is 7. So it's a min and a max, right,
Max.
Ms.
So
Bailey?
At least 7 or the most 7?
Of the 32.
A 7 of the 32 will be affordable.
At
Is
least
that-
7 must be
They could do more. They could do more if they
They can
want.
do more.
Yeah, but
So then it's,
don't.
The maximum density is 32.
yes.
They can decide to make 10 of those affordable. That's not an incentive to do a developer, but it doesn't mean
They can't.
over 32 density-wise can be at that location.
Oh, so they can do the whole thing, 32, you're saying? If
32 units will be permitted at that location. 7 must be affordable units.
Okay, I understand, but no
7
more
of the
than 7.
32, no more than,
Okay, I just wanted to clarify, that's it, okay.
yeah,
And
yeah.
who's going to monitor that it only stays at 7?
Can we get clarification? It's a maximum
Of
of no
30?
more than 32 units.
Yes.
There is a minimum requirement of 7 affordable units. If the developer chooses, he could make all 32 affordable.
Correct.
That it, but it's not
That's a big difference.
it's not fiscally responsible, but it can happen.
It can go up to 32, huh?
There would be no incentive
Mr.
there would be no incentive for a developer to do that because affordable units
Yeah, but
are,
if he's got empty units and nobody's taking, he figured I'll take whatever I can get at that point. I mean, if it,
Montvale
you're also
just-
adding another 72 down the road, so there might be the possibility of empty ones.
Can everybody just let Mr. O'Neill talk, please? Because we can't.
No, but I'm saying you're
No,
adding
I'm saying,
another.
I can't hear with all the chatter behind you. We can't hear you.
Okay,
so-
you're also adding another 72 or whatever it is right there across from the supermarket.
Right next door.
So there is a possibility that there may be some empty where the guy might say, I might as well take something as opposed to waiting for the top dollar.
The cost, the real estate differential to go into the affordable housing lottery at 100 and was it $58,000 in Bergen County for those units? Might
I
even be
don't know
less.
the number, I don't know.
It's less than $158,000, Mr. O'Neill, per unit if you buy it. So developer is not going to spend millions of dollars and millions upon, to build this and just make them. Just so you know, Montvale just tried to do a full affordable housing building and the state denied them.
Yeah, but they also have, some of them are going to be condos, right? I saw that on one
Where's
website,
this?
I think in Montvale.
Yeah, no,
They
but
have
the
to do
one,
680 in the next 10 years, and there's a.
but they
certain-
had one, they tried to do one development by themselves and make it all affordable housing and the state said no. And I know I'm just food for thought.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. Who else would like to come up? Is this regarding affordable housing?
Yes,
It's on the agenda, so Ms. Bailey just advised me that we have to wait till we get to that point of the meeting. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Anything else other than affordable housing at this time? Or anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing no one, motion to close the public comment period.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of road opening request. Road opening permit for water service at 572 Cypress Street, Block 430101, Lot 6. Correspondence dated February 19, 2026, from Danny Chernick. Motion to approve.
Question?
No.
Yes,
They gotta move it.
we got a motion first. We got a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Question, Mr. Sears?
Yes, this is the third request since the winter. And I'm trying to find out where is the breakdown. We have a strict policy, no roads are supposed to be open during the winter months. And now all of a sudden, we're getting all these urgent requests.
You're right.
And this house has been over a year, it's been being built. And now why is it all of a sudden an emergency? And we have to approve opening the road now when we have a strict ordinance that states not until April.
That's a
There's
fair
a break-
question. Mr. DeCarlo, is that something you can get back to us on?
I could, I have no further knowledge other than the resolution.
So maybe for the next meeting, if you can get back to us?
Well, can I
Sure,
come in
it'll
over?
almost be April.
Sure, hold on, Ms. Witkowski has an answer, Mr. Sears.
From what I've understood, speaking to the homeowner, he's been working on this project, working on this project, and is now to the point where he wants to move in. And because we have that ordinance, it also states that in order to move quicker or ahead of time, he has to come in front of the council and get approval. That's why.
Yes, but he's been working on that house for over a year. He
And
could have
now
had this done.
Yeah, but shouldn't the building department notify him that there's a moratorium not allowing road openings in
Yes, and they
months?
tell him they have to, he can
Because this
apply
will be
to
the
the
third
council.
one this year so
I know,
far.
it's unusual.
Yeah.
Can we maybe
normally
speak
have
to Mr. DeCarlo, can we maybe speak to the building department and make them, issue something with the permits that, there's a moratorium for the winter months for road openings and they have to schedule around that moratorium?
I certainly can, but Ms. Witkowski isn't going to the council for a resolution part of the ordinance?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
So if we work
So
with
they're
the building
following the
department.
ordinance.
we're just following
But
the
yes,
ordinance.
I can.
No, you're following the ordinance, but the ordinance also said there's no road openings in the winter months.
But they can come to the
Unless they go
council
to the
and appeal.
council for. a
Yeah, but
resolution.
we don't want them to come for an appeal
Okay.
because it's wasting our time and it's wasting their time, and they should know that they can't open the roads. So if we tell them, hey, you can't open the roads between November and March, at least they could plan accordingly, but maybe nobody's telling them that, and that's why we're having all these requests. That's all.
So maybe we need to modify that
Maybe,
ordinance.
maybe we should
And
add,
say
We
not
shouldn't be
to.
opening roads in the winter months.
No, but I'm saying if the ordinance reads that they can come to the council to request.
Well, there's always got to be, if there's an emergency, you have to have
So-
some mechanism, I believe.
I
why
mean,
we
that's
put-
what,
yeah.
yeah, that's what they're
can we
doing.
put it on the, Sue, for next council meeting to revise, to go over that ordinance?
Can we do it after budget?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely after budget, because budget's going to take a long time.
Roll call?
Please.
What are we doing with this? We're moving it to,
We're
Well,
moving it for approval. No, we're going to approve it, or either approve it or deny it, depending on what the council wants to do. Roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
no,
Councilman Omen,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-190, endorsement of the amended 2026 Housing Element and Fair Share Plan. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Anybody second it? I'll second it.
Just have the amendments or the edits from the planning board discussion been updated?
The resolution incorporates the changes made by the planning board on the record. So you'll see in the resolution, those are incorporated.
That it references the meeting or that they are there?
The changes made on the record. I don't believe the planning board resolution spells out those changes. So I changed our resolution to incorporate all the changes made on the record to that plan that evening. So that the plan will be what was before you as revised and specified on the record.
So when I read the, and my apologies, perhaps I didn't read it closely enough, but when I read the ordinance, I didn't see the updates.
You mean the amended housing element plan? Okay. The plan itself is the same plan that was before the planning board. It is being adopted subject to, and that's the language in our resolution. It's being endorsed subject to changes made on the record at the March 4th, 2026 planning board hearing. And that language is begins on page 3. Let's see.
So, it-
Beginning on the first whereas clause,
yes,
and then the first paragraph in the resolved adopts the plan subject to the amendments made on the record on March 4th, 2026.
okay, so we're amending, excuse me, the ordinance is
The
accepting.
plan is being endorsed by the council. So we're doing the plan right now.
Yes,
That's being endorsed by the council as adopted by the planning board, subject to those specific changes made on the record.
and who is responsible for making those updates? And when do they get published or how are they published?
So I would suggest, given the strict deadlines that we are under, I would suggest we do a follow-up. We have Mr. Burgess make those plans and refile after the statutory deadline. Right now, simply isn't the time to physically do that. So we're preserving that here in this resolution, that plan is being adopted only subject to the changes. That's the caveat. And then we can refile after we have time to do that. And Mr. Burgess has the ability to make those changes.
Okay, and who's responsible for making sure that that happens?
I will make sure that happens. Joe Burgess will change the plan, bring it back to the planning board, make sure you're all satisfied that that reflects exactly what was changed. and then we'll refile that.
And will that come back to the council once it goes back to the planning board?
Yes,
Or is it-
It'll have to be.
It'll be
We'll have to
re-endorsed, it'll be
re-endorse it.
re-endorsed, yeah. I can tell you what the changes are right now, and after I'd like to do a brief introduction of this whole process, because it's rather a lot and it's rather confusing, so it might be helpful, and then I'd be happy to tell everybody what those changes were made on.
That'd be
the
great,
record.
Mrs.
Please
That
do.
would be good.
Please.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning then.
So we have a motion and a second to start discussion, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Siobhan Bailey. I'm the township attorney, and along with the township's planner, Joseph Burgess, we have been responsible primarily to the mayor and council in assisting them in the process called the fourth round of satisfying the affordable housing obligation that is imposed on each and every municipality in the state of New Jersey. Now, you're probably all familiar with the terms Mount Laurel, affordable housing, and things of that nature, but it's very complicated. Oh, yeah. It tends to be complicated. It tends to be, difficult. And one of the reasons I find it's difficult is because the statute, especially the current amendments, provide for the ability for very limited public hearings and involvement. That is not anyone's desire, certainly not the township's desire, but it is the way the statute is set up and designed. So just a little background and history of affordable housing. Affordable housing dates back to 1975 in the Supreme Court case South Burlington NAACP versus Mount Laurel. It's a Supreme Court case that held that every municipality has an obligation to provide for low and moderate income housing within its municipality. Throughout the years, what that obligation is, how it's determined, what are developing communities versus fully developed communities have been litigated. And most recently, in 2015, the courts held that the agency responsible, COA, they disbanded the agency because the courts found it was no longer effectively, ensuring that affordable housing was being built throughout the state. So in March 2024, in response to the Supreme Court's ruling in 2015, the amended Fair Housing Act was enacted. And that brought about a fundamental change on how affordable housing obligations were calculated, and most importantly, the process by which municipalities must follow in order to get what's called the compliance certificate for complying with its obligation imposed by the Supreme Court. Now, you may say to yourself, well, what if we don't do it? Well, failure to comply with this system could include a lot of drastic consequences to your municipality, including the loss of zoning power, the takeover of your land use boards, and essentially have a right to have a say on how much affordable housing is appropriate for your town, as well as how it looks, height, buffers, and things of that nature. We have our own example in Bergen County of what it means not to comply, and that's Englewood Cliffs. They chose not to comply, say we're not going to do what the state tells us to do. We're going to go to trial, and we're going to do what we want to do. Well, what happened there is basically the court invalidated all of their zoning ordinances, appointed a special master who decides how much affordable housing gets built, where it gets built, how high, buffers, etc. Not land use boards, no public participation, one person. So you can see, or you can probably tell, the preference is to work with the town, work with the state, and come up with a solution so that while it may not be ideal, it's the best possible scenario. So that's what we've been doing over the past year. In June of 2025, The planning board adopted the housing element and fair share plan. In that plan, it had the 72 units proposed for the Valley Bank site. It had the units and density proposed on the 660 site. And we held public hearings on that plan. There was an opportunity in August by August 31st of 2025 to file a challenge to that plan. And the only challenge we received was from Fair Share Housing Center. That's really the organization that has filed challenges pretty much to every plan throughout the state. And what they do is they try to push municipalities for more affordable housing. And the municipality has the obligation to come up with a settlement with Fair Share Housing by December 30th, 2025, or risk being out of compliance. And I just described to you what that means. So what we did, Township's professionals, myself included, Mr. Burgess, we negotiated, we litigated, and we came up with the plan that's currently before the council tonight. It's by and large the same plan that was adopted by the council at the public meeting, or excuse me, planning board at a public meeting in June of 2025, endorsed by the council a week or so after. So in my view, we did very well for the township. The number of units that the state requires that Washington Township provide for is 184 affordable units. A vacant land adjustment was done by our planner, and our realistic development potential was established at 19 affordable units. And those units are being satisfied primarily through the 2 sites that are in our plan tonight. Now, in addition to this, what happens with the remaining 165 units, 184 minus 19? That's called a municipality's unmet need. And you can't just say, well, we're fully developed, we can't do anything about that. The statute requires the municipality to target other sites that may in the future, may not ever, but may in the future turn over. And where could we put affordable housing in order to meet that remainder 165 units? You have to provide for that unmet need. So what was agreed to, Fair Share Housing asked for 4 additional overlay sites, one at the TD Bank, one at LLGC, additional overlay units on the current at Bethany, as well as the 4th site, Stone Mill Gardens. They wanted to go up to 12 units per acre. Now, currently, 2 of those, Bethany and Stone Mill, are part of our 3rd round overlay. At Stone Mill, there's an overlay zone. If that ever gets sold to a developer, currently that developer can build 8 units per acre. Fair Share Housing was pressing to increase that to 14 units per acre. We were able to get them to agree to only 1 additional unit must be affordable, and it will be paid for by the township's affordable trust fund. So rather than a huge increase in density at that site, 1 additional unit will be built. About 2 to 3 will be affordable. Now it's 3 to 4, depending upon whether the owner picks rental versus for sale. It's a formula. So that's the result that we got there. In terms of the Bethany site, that currently permits 15 units per acre if that ever turns over from its current use. Fair Share Housing was pushing to increase that to 25 units per acre. We were able to convince them and to get the court to convince them that 18 units per acre was an appropriate increase in that overlay. We were able to push back on the additional overlay sites at OLGC, as well as the TD Bank, as not being appropriate for high-density development. So in my view, we entered into, we came before the council, we got agreement, and we entered into a mediation agreement that is now incorporated within the plan before the council tonight, as well as the implementing ordinances. I just will say as well, the township also joined other municipalities in the state in filing a lawsuit to challenge this process, which drastically limits the ability of municipalities to prepare affordable housings in consultation and at public meetings over an extended period of time and made it basically an under 1-year process with limited public hearings. The lawsuit was filed not long after the enactment of the amendments to the Fair Housing Act and has been aggressively pursued by our consortium of municipalities, literally taking it to the highest court on the land, the United States Supreme Court. About a week and a half ago, unfortunately, Justice Alito denied our emergent application to stay the timeframes of this New Jersey amended FHA. So now that was basically the last step that we took in that litigation to be able to challenge it. So here we are about a week before the deadline. We believe we've come up with a plan that is favorable to the township in terms of limiting the increase in density and multi-unit development. Certainly, the township wants to participate and satisfy its obligation and help the state make sure it provides for low and moderate income people. But I believe this plan does that in a way that maintains the character of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey.
Thank you.
So just to follow up, I know I stopped the public comment, Bill B. As we continue in the ordinance reading, you'll have time to come up and give your public comments. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that. So let's take a roll call on resolution number 26-191.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Motion to continue the public hearing for ordinance 26, oh, excuse me. Would anybody at this time like to come up and address this ordinance?
Motion to public.
You have to do one.
Motion to
You
continue.
have to do 191.
I did one.
You're up there on 190.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then my pages are off. Here they are. I don't have 190.
You should do 190 right here.
Okay, all right, okay.
Sorry.
All right. Adoption, second reading, ordinance number 2601, an ordinance amending Chapter 540, Article 21 entitled Affordable Housing and Article 22 entitled Mandatory Affordable Housing Set Aside of the Code of the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-191, authorizing second reading and opening of public hearing for ordinance 2601. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Ullman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Now you can come up. Thank you. You can just state your name and you don't have to give your address, just your name.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yes, we can.
Christine Garris, I'm a township resident for almost 6 years now.
You said Garrison, right?
Garris, G-E-H-R-E-S, Garris.
Thank you, Mr. Garrison.
So I have one question and then a couple of questions, if I may. So the first one is this public housing trust fund. How is that resourced? And I'm sorry if I don't know that, but I couldn't find it. I know that there's grants from the state of New Jersey,
It's by
but they're very
develop-
small.
The developers have to post fees in order to fund the developers fund.
Okay,
So any potential developer that would enter into these sites to construct the housing there would have to pay into a developer's fund.
and then the township can use that to increase the number and fund that beyond what,
Only for our requirements, which is the one unit at this time.
Right.
If we ever built it, right? Or there's others.
That's the only unit
Yeah.
we're funding.
okay, all right, so it's not the taxpayers per se or
No,
anything
it's
that
the
you have to
developer-
budget
the-
for?
The developers would fund that program.
Right, and then thank you.
All developments do, yeah.
Affordable component.
Okay, thank you. The other question is a more general question, it probably applies to all the sites that are in discussion today.
Sure.
So in general terms, adding that number of units, looking at how big Township of Washington is, it's probably not that huge, but it's a few percentage points, right? 4 or so percentage more of inhabitants. And of course, all these people have to go to school. They all need to drive. They all need to park. So it's really more of a general question of infrastructure. How is that going to impact us? And is that being considered? Is that significant enough? And also specifically sewer capacity. Somebody talked about there's a new sewer system put in for different developments, so that would cover that, but I have a question mark around that. And last point in comment is looking at the surface area that's going to be covered. It says on there very clearly impermeable. So where is that water runoff going to be? Because in some areas here in Washington Township, we already have a lot of water on the ground.
Yeah.
And if you have that high coverage, which is very high in my mind, where is that going to go and how is that going to be dealt with? So those are my concerns.
So the developers are required to go in front of the board that they need to go to, and they have to meet all state guidelines, just like every other developer would in the township. So they would have to address all your concern. They would have to do traffic impact studies, sewer analysis, and stormwater analysis. All that would have to be presented and approved by our professionals in the township in order to proceed with the development.
And I will say that's why it's so important for our boards to be able to maintain control of this process rather than have one special master deciding these things with a developer.
Okay, because what is in the document that we all received, right, it does talk about very specific points, specifically surface coverage and impermeable. So what you're saying is that's kind of preliminary in the sense, right? You approve it, we have so many units maximum and so many minimum have to be affordable housing. However, when it comes to the details, there could be changes that you say you can't put impermeable surfaces on this much area, you have to find a different way.
Correct. Well, it'd be stormwater management, so they'd have to figure out how to manage the stormwater on site. However it may be with underground detention systems, whatever it may be, they'd have to figure that out in the design. Right
Okay.
now, this is just a general conceptual footprint for the developer to look at it and say, this is what I could build on this site.
Okay, but you
But
could
it doesn't
come up-
mean that that's the final layout or, it's just I don't want to say it's a pretty picture, but that's what it really is, because all the
Okay.
details aren't there. Like the trees aren't shown, the landscaping buffers aren't shown. It just says, these are your buffered areas, but we don't have the details of what's going to be in those buffered areas until they go in front of one of our boards and the professionals determine what's required.
All right, so you have ways of making it more stringent or go back and say, hey, that's not sufficient.
They have to meet all state requirements, just like every other developer does, just like every resident in the township would if they wanted to develop their site.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Oh, I pointed to, you're up. No, you're up. I pointed in the same direction. It was one right behind each other.
My name is Richard Miller. I live at 10 Brayburn Drive.
Good evening,
in
Mr. Miller.
Township, in the Northgate community. Okay. A few questions I have. You had mentioned there'd be 184 units in Washington Township for affordable housing.
That is the required number, and after, that was what the state determined we needed to provide for. Then the process went forward. We did a vacant land adjustment, and our planner was able to determine that the most we could provide for is 19 units, because this is a fully developed town. It wouldn't be appropriate, because 184 units is only 20% of the total you would have to build to get to that number. So the court and the Fair Share Housing, they worked with us, and we came up with 19 affordable units.
So the 184 was reduced to 19 by our
Correct,
plan.
correct.
19 of
Total.
affordable
Affordable
housing
units,
units.
right.
Okay. Is there a time frame for this where, we're planning on, I guess, Valley Bank, you had said there's 72 units there, lot 650, which borders Northgate, 32 units. Is there a time frame that we have from the state, 5 years, 10 years, 2 years?
So there's a 5-point review period, and you have to submit whether or not those developments actually occurred. And the court will be able to determine whether or not you need to find additional sites, because that wasn't sufficient. I think we have enough evidence to show that the zoning that is proposed here is enough and realistic and better than any other, or shouldn't spawn any additional requirements from the court, because I think it's a realistic plan, even if it doesn't happen within 5 years.
But Mr. Miller, just as Ms. Bailey just said, Viviano's been going on for 25 years. That's part of our round 1, 2, and 3 affordable housing units. None of those units are even close to, they haven't even come to fruition yet. But we still need to build there eventually and give the state those units at that site. So it may happen, they may put shovel in the ground this year, they may put shovel in the ground in 5 or 10 years. We can't speak for the developers.
Okay, but if the developer develops, particularly talking about lot 650 on Washington and Pascack,
Yep.
will the public and of course the planning board and zoning board have input
Yes.
into what it would look like?
Yeah, there'll be just like there was on the previous development that you attended when I was zoning
Right.
board chairman.
Yeah.
You'll have the same ability to attend those meetings and give your input at those meetings when they do occur. They haven't submitted anything.
Now, are there plans, short-term plans on whether they be townhomes or will it be rentals, or does anyone know that
We
yet?
don't know
or-
what the developer.
We don't know that for sure.
That's up to the developer.
I believe townhomes are planned at that site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all I have right now.
But you'll
Thank
have
you.
the right to go to those zoning.
Yeah,
board
we'll
meetings,
have
planning board
meetings that we'll
Yes.
be able to attend
Correct,
and
just like you did.
address our concerns, et cetera. Like, I know they say there'll be footage in the rear, the footage on the sides and all, but then where's the parking, where's the garbage dumps are gonna be? I mean,
That'll all be addressed at those meetings.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, hi, John Ramick, 70 Northgate Road.
Good evening, Mr. Ramick.
Thanks for having us. First of all, I'd just like, well, a little off topic, I'd just like to congratulate you and thank you for what the council, the mayor and the council did for the intersection down here on Pascack and Washington. The traffic's moving. I think it's created, it's a lot safer than it was. We have walk signals, you have turn signals, and we have walkways, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Ramick.
Mr. Miller just took a few of my questions that we can, I guess, address some of the issues specifically for the construction itself, as far as where parking is going to be and the lighting and the type of.
That'll all be done at
Okay, so forgetting that then. So I was at the meeting in June when Burgess presented the plan that I guess we all worked, or the council worked on to get to the current ordinance. Question I have, a couple things between what that draft proposal was with Burgess. He had, as far as buffers go, you mentioned buffers. Originally, it had in the plan a minimum of 30 feet buffer between the sides. And now, in the ordinance, it has 15 feet buffer between the sides and the rear. As far as parking setbacks, the same thing. In the original draft, it had 15 feet between the properties for parking setbacks. But then now in the ordinance, it has 15 feet. So it went from 30 to 15. And lastly, in the original draft of this proposal of the affordable housing, on Pascack and Washington, it was originally in the plan 28 units with 6 affordable. Now it's 32 units and 7 affordable. So something changed between the original proposal that I guess.
In order to settle not having a lawsuit, that's some of the.
Okay, but why would you have to, all right, I can get that going from 6 to 7, but why do you have to go from 28 to 32?
Because that's.
I mean, it's just creating more.
We started at 70, Mr. Ramick.
Yeah, that was the,
Yeah, well,
70 units.
but his
at that
proposal.
No, I'm just saying, I understand.
Okay, I get it.
He went back with them with
Right.
those numbers that you stated, but we started at 70 and we got him down
Well, I'm
to.
starting at the low number.
Yeah, I understand.
You guys are going.
But unfortunately, Mr. Rapp, we had to start it the other way because they came in with this.
Okay.
We got them down. We thought we were going to get them to that, and then we ended up having to settle at that number. So
Okay, well,
that's.
It's just a little disconnect between the presentation that we're back in June from Burgess to where we are now, and I guess I missed some of the pieces in between, but
Yeah,
thank you for your time and your efforts on all this.
So if I can address that, because maybe other people have a question, that's this process we're in. In June of 2025, the township proposed its housing element and fair share plan, and objectors had the ability to file objections before August 31st of 2025. Fair Share Housing Center filed such an objection, and that's where the give and take went back. They had a developer who was ready to come in at 70 units, and quite frankly, I think it's great that we kept it at 32.
Okay, so there's really nothing you can do. They just told you it's got to be
No, that's
32.
no.
It's negotiated.
We negotiated back and forth.
Yeah.
So it was they started at 70, we went to 28, then we ended up at 32. We could have ended up at 35 in the middle points. I think we did win a little bit, but
Great.
it's
Thank
not.
you.
It's yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The point is our job, in the township is to make sure that we keep the units down as much as possible in total and the affordable ones down as much as possible. And unfortunately, the last thing you want to do is have the state come in and take it over because it'll be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with the state government. They think every town is the same. We're a cookie cutter. We're not. We're Washington Township, just like Westwood's Westwood and Emerson's Emerson, and I think hopefully I can speak for the council. That's our job, to make sure those units are as minimal as possible and the affordables are minimal as possible. And sometimes we have to give stuff up that we don't want to give up, but, it can go the other way. And we don't want to go the other way, and we really try and, I'm a lifer in town and I'd like to keep the home feel, so to speak. It's a very difficult job. That's the problem with the state government. They just don't understand that we're not all the same, and I think the council and previous councils and the administration are really trying to accomplish that one goal. We're doing everything we can. The last thing we want to do is if I wanted to live in the city, I would move to New York. I don't want to live in the city. And that's what's happening with our communities in Bergen County. The state is trying to turn everything into.
Our hands are bound by this.
Our hands are basically bound. So we're really trying to do the best we can to keep it as it's always been. So, our council and our planning boards and our planners and our attorneys are really trying to do the best we can for you, and I wish we could get our wish where we have to change nothing. But unfortunately, that's not the reality we live in these days.
And just remember, our first go-around with the state, they wanted 484 low to moderate income housing. That means we would have to take over 1,000 or 1,500 living units somewhere. And this battle's been going on for 20 some odd years now, Mr. Mayor, 20, 25. We've been battling with the fair share.
Even longer. Goes
It's even longer.
Yeah, so we got it from 484 down to 19. It was a long battle.
But anyway, I'm sorry about that rant. I apologize, but sometimes I get passionate about those things, so I do apologize, sir.
My name's Henry Senecola, 29 Brayburn Drive.
Good
First
evening,
of all,
Mr. Seneca.
thank you for those comments. It wasn't rambling. I think you're in expressing exactly the sentiments of virtually everyone.
It's
in this
frustrating.
room shares.
It's frustrating.
Absolutely.
Well, to think that somebody down at a state agency could tell us that we're going to build 70 units on the corner of 660 Pascack Road
Yeah.
is obscene and disgusting to think that you're going to build, like the center of Emerson, that massive building. I'm not saying anything bad about Emerson, but look how long that's been going on. We don't want that at Washington and Pascack.
I would choose words stronger than disgusting and obscene, but anyway. I just want to echo what my neighbors Rich Miller and John Ramick said. Ms. Bailey, is 19 the number now? Is there we owe the state 165? Is that always going to come up?
Your unmet need is always going to be there.
Right.
So you always have to strive to satisfy that obligation, so to speak. So the way that we make efforts to do that is to say, one day this site redevelops, this is what will happen there. But the state understands that we're entitled to our vacant land adjustment and only affirmatively zone for 19 units at this time, given the fully developed nature of this township.
So aside from these two developments that you've discussed, when we talked about the nursery on Pascack and Ridgewood and then Bedford Community Center, each one is going to be a separate review with the state, correct? In terms of how many units we're going to put up for FHA.
There are only two overlays.
Right.
If we're talking about unmet need, that 165 number.
Right.
We've got Bethany, which was part of the third round. That was 15 units per acre. It's gone up to 18 units per acre,
Right.
not 25. And the Stone Mill Gardens is only adding one additional site. Fair Share Housing tried to get us to do an additional overlay at the TD Bank site
And OLGC.
and OLGC. We pushed back on that, said those were not appropriate sites at any time for multi-unit. And that was a difficult pushback, but
I can only imagine, yeah.
yeah.
Now, are we locked in? Are we guaranteed, for instance, a nursery site of one affordable unit? Is that done with our rezoning, or if that comes to reality, do we have to dance again with the state?
No, we don't have to dance again.
So we've got those numbers, okay.
We have both, all the two overlay zones, like Ms. Bailey just said, at both the Bethany and Stone Mills are set in stone.
Okay. And is there pressure by the state for us to rezone any other areas?
That was OLGC and TD Bank, which we pushed back.
Push
And
back, and they'll come back, I'm sure.
anything's possible in the state of New Jersey, you know that.
There will be a 5-year mid-review, but hopefully during this 10-year process, greater minds will prevail and we'll keep fighting as we did in the consortium of municipalities to fight the legislation and to go to Trenton and make our case.
Okay, now, I know the sites that will be developed, the ones we spoke of to be compliant with our dues of 19 units, are the projects obligated by the developer to be rentals, or can they be purchases? Are they a mix, or is that up to the developer, or does the state have the final say?
It's up to the developer.
Somewhat. They're in this 50-page general affordable housing ordinance. There does have to be a certain percentage of rentals to for sale, so that they have to comply with the affordable housing ordinance and provide some rentals.
But right now, aren't they all townhouses right now?
Yeah, but some of them could be.
Yeah, do you know what that ratio is?
Let's see. Could I take that as a question?
Yeah, we're on the order. Mr. Senecal, Ms. Bailey, you'll have to get back to you because she doesn't know
No
where.
problem, no problem. And do we know for the units, for the two projects that are going to happen,
Yes.
do we know, for instance, the one at Pascack in Washington, is that rental or a purchase? Or don't we know?
Not at this time. The developer hasn't even submitted a plan.
Okay. Now, a lot of what I've read, the strong implication from the state is that all of these FHA units are going to be rentals. Is that a misconception on my part, or is that understood, or we don't know until?
We don't know until the developer submits their application.
Okay. So we'll see you when the developer gets his plans. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Senecal. Oh, yes, Mr. Ullman, hold on one second. Mr. Durso, you're next. I'll just answer Mr. Ullman's comment.
You know, I just want to say that I generally agree with Mr. Cassio's statement that we certainly want to keep the development as low as possible in terms of the total number of units. I am not of the opinion that we have to keep the affordable units at the lowest number. And I think that, you know, people hear affordable and they think of, you know, cinder blocks and cars in front on, in disarray. First, these have to be developed. It's laid out in this 50-page document. The level of finish, how they're situated on the site, and things of that nature. And the other thing I think to keep in mind is that there's specific language in this about our veterans and our ability or the requirement that up to 50% of these units can be designated for veterans who require affordable housing. So, you know, if someone is willing to defend our country and, you know, now it's fallen on hard times and there's an ability through this mechanism to provide for them, I don't think that's a bad thing. So, you know, we do want to keep the overall development down. I do think that when we talk about these things, we have to be careful what we say about affordable and the possible misconception of what that is going to look like and what's that's going to do with our town.
Thank you, Mr. Holman.
Mike, may I make a quick statement?
Sure.
Thank you. I just want to make sure the public is totally understanding. We did not go looking for these sites. These property owners came to us and said, we want to help you with your affordable housing obligations. So we did not seek out these sites, but the property owners came to us under affordable housing saying, as I said, they said, we want to help you with your affordable housing obligation. And then that starts this whole, not the whole process, but the local process. Because before that.
But that's not all the sites, Mr. Mayor.
Well, it's these two currents.
The two current, the Valley Bank.
Right,
and-
correct.
So I just want to make sure,
But
Stone Mill and Bethany did not come to us and ask for an overlay zone. So I want to
No,
make
not
that
the
clear.
overlay zones, the two that are active, let me say, as opposed to overlay. They came to us, we did not approach them, nor were we required to as part of the fair share housing obligation. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Mr. Durso?
Hi, Joe Durso, 12 Viola Terrace. Peter, you read my mind. How did you know I was coming up?
Great minds, yeah.
Great minds think alike. So, yeah, I asked that question back in June, I believe.
Okay.
Obviously, I always use the word, and I'm here, NIMBY, whatever. Nobody likes it in their yard, as these people over here, they've been fighting that development on the corner over there. So I guess you answered my question, so I'm not going to bring up names. So this, other than the fact that the LLC that owns Valley and the LLC that owns that property, they came to you then?
Yes, they did.
They did. And when exactly did they come to you? Because we just got through.
Offhand, I don't remember if anyone else does. Please jump in, but I don't.
All right. Because, I know that property on the corner, they were looking to do a strip mall, and, the people over behind there, across there, they were all against it. So this came up, my neighbors, most of us on Viola, were all sitting back there. It was, it came up in June. I'm quick to react, but, it's a concern because, my house faces this, my neighbors' houses are next to it. I seen the makeshift plans, or however you want to call them.
Conceptual plans.
Yeah, conceptual plans. The one thing, and again, it doesn't affect me at all, and I hope it doesn't, but I can give this to you, and I said it in my, can I just hand this out? Because you guys have all seen this. This is Fillmore. This is the Fillmore disaster that I think the town really dropped the ball on, right? And I mentioned it the last time I was here. Why? And my question is, how could you allow garages to be built there? And do you have a say in it, or did the state allow it, or does somebody have it?
Well, Fillmore was done, I wasn't on this dais when that was done, Mr. Durso, so I see the pictures you're submitting.
But who allows this though? I mean, look at those, I don't even know the people, and I feel bad for them because you got 3 stories, a peak, and those garages should have never been there. It was bad enough, and I believe, and I don't want to rehash this, but that property was supposed to be closer to the parkway. And then all of a sudden I hear it's wetlands, and that was one of my dialogues that I brought up. How's Paramus building on wetlands? So you ruin these people, the state, I guess, whoever ruined this. And I'm just, one of my neighbors pointed out to me, because I jumped to conclusions. And it looks like in these plans that they're not building garages here at Valley Bank. It looks like it's going to be 3 stories, 35 feet high with the peak, and no garages. Can anybody assure us of that?
The zone that I don't think anyone can assure you, Joe, but I think what we can say is the zone is a 35-foot zone. So they can only go to 35. They have to go to one of the boards for a variance.
All right. So
I can't answer your question of how this got to be 50 feet high, Mr. Durso. I know that's your question.
Right.
we'd have to ask the building department why that was allowed.
Yeah, that's something
It's a valid question.
I
I
wanna
don't have an
prevent.
answer to you. I don't
Right.
have an,
I mean,
but
I get it.
I can assure you that next door at Valley Bank, the ordinance is clear that it's 35 foot high. That's what's in the ordinance, and that's the max height of any structure on site.
Right. My next question, and I know the answer to this already, you're an engineer, we have people like they're engineers. They're not going to grade this property.
No.
So my issue is we're up on a hill, and so is the parking lot of Valley Bank. So the 35 feet for the current bank, listen, 35 years ago when I moved in, it was there. I knew about it. But now you're going to take, they're not going to, I know they're not going to put giant retaining walls up because it's going to cost too much money. So they're going to go up, second tier of the parking lot, they're going to put a 35-foot structure. They're going to go up 16 more feet because we measured it. And they're going to put another 35-foot structure. How high is that structure going to be, like currently? Like, I mean, 35 feet from there is probably equal to my neighbor's side property, you know, and I just think the town, and I appreciate what you said, that, you know, we have control over it, but do we really have control over the developer coming in? Or can he just say, oh, look, we own all this property, and now, you know, the plans don't show that they're going on the far side, closer to this building, all the back property over there. Can they go and develop that for something else? I mean.
No, their zoning is limited to what we approved in this ordinance.
So 72 units.
That's it. How they, right now, there's a plan that you've seen that shows how those 72 are conceptually laid out. And it has a huge buffer at the rear going toward Viola and toward Hudson, right? There's a massive buffer there that remains as is, which is there currently. That's what it shows. That's what we hope that when they present it to the boards, they will continue with that buffer. But we can't speak for the developer at this time.
So it's
But
up to our board.
It is shown, yeah. So, I mean, it's imperative that when the developer does go in front of the boards, that if you have these concerns, that you're there to address them.
Sure.
Because, you know, we can't go as council people and address the board because there's case law about, you know, we're kind of, right? We're bullying the board, so we can't go and address them. But you as residents and 200-foot neighbors have every opportunity to go there. But right now, the current plan has the whole backside of the site remaining as a buffer like it currently exists. So
Right. No, I get it, and I appreciate the explanation.
I would say as an engineer, yes, putting on my engineer's hat, yeah, they're not going to regrade that rear parking lot and lower it to make the 30. They're going to build on top of that parking lot and make the building 35 foot high from that parking lot. Yes.
So,
but I'm not the developer, and I'm just saying.
No, I hear you.
Probably, what's going to happen.
So about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less, I was here when you guys had to deal with this, with declaring the overlay properties. And I remember you guys brought it up, Stone Mill. Mike had no clue he was an overlay.
Correct. And that's why I wanted to make it clear that he didn't go to the mayor, because I know a lot of people were upset.
So
with
who
him.
decides now? Does the council decide where the overlay? Does the planner decide, or who decides?
It was a continuation of the round 3 COA that those 2 zones remained overlays.
Right.
And the master tried to add OLGC and TD Bank to that overlay zone.
Mm-hmm.
And Ms. Bailey and the planner were able to not have those added. We did not ask them to. There was the master never asked us to remove those overlays, because then we wouldn't have been compliant with our agreement.
Right.
But he asked, or he or she, I can't think of, I don't know who it is, asked us to add to the overlay zones, which would have added OLGC and TD Bank, and we were able to successfully negotiate not adding those 2. But the 2 existing ones remained, and like Ms. Bailey presented, with 1 additional unit at there, and 3 additional units per acre there, instead of the 10 they started with. They wanted to go to 25 per acre.
You know, in reference to Councilman Ullman, I agree with him. People, as soon as you hear affordable, and I got an education on it, you know, I mean, I have a business I'm involved with in an area where there's hundreds of homes being built. And, you know, it's not like, I know you tiptoed around the way you worded it, but they're people, you know. Yeah, veterans are going to come in. People are going to be in. That's what everybody worries about. We're in our little hamlet town here, and it's been a nice fit. But, you know, I'm not so worried about the affordable. I'm really worried about all the building that's going to go on. And somebody also brought up the infrastructure here. Like, are we planning for this? I don't think 72 homes and 30-something homes. I don't know how much more that's going to put on our police department or emergency services and ambulance. So that's probably dialogue that you guys are all going to have. But my question is, I mean, again, going back to who decides the overlay, and I think the mayor had brought up Lincoln or Kennedy Park. Why don't we declare those as overlays? I mean, they're vacant land. I mean, it's not really intrusive to anybody right now because it's all.
Are they developable? Developable.
Is it developable?
I think that's the key, is that it's not only
Is it a swamp?
vacant, but it's developable.
LinkedIn.
I don't think that's coming out.
I know, but you see what they're developing in swamplands right now? I mean, so that's, you know, I know, and,
You have 1 minute, Mr. Durst.
oh gosh, really? Okay. I'll move it along. I think they do.
No,
So when's round 5 coming?
10 years.
2035.
Don't go sit down asking that question.
10 years.
Yeah.
9 years. excuse me.
And the Viviano property, I was involved back in 2010. I thought they were excluded from affordable housing or obligation because the town used to send money to the state into, I think it was Hoboken or Jersey City. So
Bayonne. But they still provided toward our full affordable housing.
Right, but they don't have to build affordable housing there though.
No.
Correct.
Right. So I
But they
think
did provide for affordable housing.
they did provide, but we paid over the course of those
They
years.
paid it.
They
There was a
They
remedy,
paid. They
there was a
paid.
remedy available to us.
There was
at the time.
RCAs available at the time, and the RCAs are no longer available, so everything has to be built in the township now. You can't sell your affordable housing to other districts that were buying these RCA
I hear you.
credits.
I'm running out of time. 2 things real quick.
Go ahead.
Environmental. We are sitting on environmental issues. We all know that for years. Goes down the hill. Has there been any kind of environmental studies, or it was just allowed for a developer to come in? Did he do environmental studies over there?
We can't speak for the developer.
Right. So
We know ours.
But he's
have been-
allowed to-
Ours have been addressed here at the site.
after 25 years,
Well, the council, my first term on council, we addressed it, and with the administration, we got it cleaned up. We got a no further action on the site.
Right.
So our part is done. What is there, I can't answer,
no, I hear you. And
Joe, I know you're limited time, if you'll just give him, I think what we had to do with the DPW is we had to branch out, and so we saw the contamination did not go as far as Valley at the time.
okay,
Yeah.
listen, it's inevitable. This is coming, and I'm sure my neighbors would probably want to talk about whatever I missed. But thank you for the explanation, and appreciate it.
thank you, Mr. Durst.
Hopefully, and Tom, I just want to say, you're doing a hell of a job. I have people, what you do with your volunteering, with everything, and I have somebody that sees you at the library all the time. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe, I appreciate that.
Okay, go ahead.
You know my name?
Yes.
Mona Perez.
Good evening, Ms. Chris.
Good evening. We are from Jackson, so we are aware of the development on the Valley Bank. I think our question, and do you guys have anything else, that Council Vice President was touching on, I think, can you guys address how the applications for the affordable housing is processed? Is it processed through our council or our city, or is it a New Jersey sort of decision-making process? Because I would also, I guess, along with that, is there some priority with residents who may be wanting to apply for the affordable housing within these developments?
There have been recent updates in all of that, and that's part of what we're doing in conjunction with these ordinances and this plan. The state has developed a pretty detailed program on how these units are to be marketed, how the applicants are to be prioritized, and all of that is in detail in one of these ordinances. It's quite lengthy, and it's required to be adopted, and those methods are required to be followed. I think Mr. Ullman mentioned there is some flexibility to, that the council can require in its developers agreement with developers that veterans be given a preference, 50% of the very low units be given to veterans, and that can be part of the developers agreement. But other than that, we have an administrative agent that we're required to, who is required to administer and process all of the applications, follow the law in terms of priority of the applicants. We have a municipal liaison in our township administration, responsible for coordinating with the administrative agent to be sure all of that is done properly.
Okay, so I guess the short answer is it would be within our sort of town employees that are making sort of
No,
those?
no.
It's not?
No, that
Oh,
is
it's
not-
not at all?
That is
Okay,
not.
I misunderstood.
No, we hire.
So you hire, okay.
We have to, there's certain vendors in the state of New Jersey.
Oh, I
that-
see.
That are qualified, right,
Yes.
to administer affordable housing sales.
Okay.
And those, we've engaged one that we've put into the ordinance, right? We have a person we've hired, or a company we've had to hire based on their qualifications by the state.
it. Okay.
And they will handle the sale of those units.
I see.
If you look at this evening's agenda,
Okay,
Resolution 26-195 through 26-198,
Mhm.
they are covering what you're asking.
okay, that's great.
So 195 and 198 is correct.
Mike, may I add something?
Yes.
You know, we talk about affordable units, right? And affordable has that connotation that it's a very, very, very low income applicant, which in Bergen County, it's not. So keep that in mind, because to make it affordable, you know, they market most of our houses at $1 million these days. That's, you know, 50% of $1 million is 500,000. That becomes affordable now. So it's not like these really low poverty level incomes that your families and individuals that you're looking at. So that gets a bad connotation over time. I think we have that fear when we hear that, but that's really not the case.
Yeah, understood. And I think maybe the last question that you guys maybe touched on it, if you guys could maybe address it a little bit more, because I know some of my neighbors in Jackson, regarding the Valley Bank timeline. I think that maybe you touched on it, that they haven't actually submitted their plans just yet. And so the first process would be that they would be submitting it to the zoning planning board?
Zoning or planning board, depending on which board it's deemed it would go to.
Okay. And then approximate timeline, do you guys
We have
know
no
how
idea
that?
when the developer's going to submit, right?
No idea.
No.
just really have to wait.
You have to wait, you have to pay attention, you know, we'll make announcement, you know, there'll be announcements and, you know, look at the public notices. What's that?
She can't.
You can't talk, Mrs.
Okay, so she's asking, I guess, it has the property.
Come up and talk.
You want me? So I guess if you can give us any update on the Valley Bank process at this point, if the property has actually been sold. I believe that we are aware that is Russo Development, so I think we're aware of that. You did say that it was 72 units. It was
Yes.
going to be 35 feet from likely the current parking lot. Did you have any additional information that you can provide us that would be helpful?
Other than the fact that they're currently a contract purchaser, we don't know the stage of that transaction at the moment, whether or not it's closed, whether or not it will close, we don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The township's website is very, it's quite current in terms of planning and zoning. They have agendas, they have current plans that are before or current applications that are before the board. So you should be using that as a tool to monitor what's going on as well.
Good evening.
How you doing? Mike O'Shea. I'm 17 Viola Terrace. I'm right behind the.
Mike, what was your last?
O'Shea.
O'Shea?
Yep. I'm right behind the Valley Bank site. We butt up to the woods that are behind that site. And I know you said there's a buffer zone and it is currently shown as not being done. Is there any way to put that in as some sort of a?
Could you just speak up? She can't hear you.
Is there any way to put that in as some sort of a permanent green space? Is that, a guarantee that they won't come in and level that even though it's
Right
their
now,
site?
the plan shows it as a buffer, correct?
It's really the zoning ordinance that's being voted on, not that plan. That plan may
Right.
May not.
never be built, they may
Yeah.
build something completely differently.
Even
What's being voted on and considered are the ordinances themselves.
Okay, so
But it is shown as a buffer right now, Mr. O'Shea. But again, you're gonna have to go to the zoning or planning board meetings when they do occur, which we don't know when that's gonna happen, to make sure that your wishes are stated there.
the other question was seasons considered at all as an overlay for any of this stuff?
It wasn't requested by Fair Share Housing. We certainly.
So we didn't
are
offer it?
Are going to offer additional sites.
Okay. I think that's it for now. I'll be
Thank you,
back
Mr.
to
O'Shea.
planning stuff. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to come up at this time?
Hi, I'm Lauren Coker. I've been in town for about 25 years.
Good evening, Ms. Cook.
Hi, I live on Jackson Avenue, and I think from what I'm gathering now, because I just heard about this recently, so I missed the boat. So that's why I've been getting concerned. I've been making a decision about making plans. I thought to stay here and, retire here and stay put. But knowing that this is happening right across the street from me, I've been getting nervous. I think I'm just trying to understand a better, just sort of like a plan of the time frame for moving forward. What kind of, from what I see so far, we don't have much say in any of this, and I understand that. But moving forward, my concerns are about, will entrances and exits be only on Packard Road? Is Jackson Avenue, is that going to become a cutway? I teach at Westwood High School. The shopping center, the parking in the shopping center right now is crazy. What is going to happen? So for me, I'm making a decision for my future the next year or two. Can you give me a better idea? Is this a reality that Valley is taking place, or this is 5 years from now?
It's hard to tell what the stage of the developer is, but I find it interesting when you said about will Jackson be a cut through?
Yeah.
One of the results in Englewood Cliffs, what they lost the ability to do was prevent residential streets from being cut throughs. That's the settlement would have provided for that. And since they didn't, do what they were supposed to do, all of those residential streets are now pass-throughs for these enormously dense units. So that's an important piece of the planning process and why we want to keep it in front of our boards and in front of our public.
So ultimately, we will have control of that as long as we don't let the state?
To a degree.
To a degree, we'll have control. Well, we have control of the amount of units and what our professionals at the Planning and Zoning Board will agree to from the developers. They don't have carte blanche to do whatever they want, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
The Jackson Avenue cut through?
How would you? I don't know. I don't know how you'd have to make Viola a cut through to get to Jackson, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think you can get from Valley to Jackson.
I know. You never know.
I don't think it's possible. I think without bulldozing other people's houses, you can't get there.
Okay.
So I don't know if that settles your fears a little bit, but
So just so, for me, because I'm not always aware of what's going on, I need to be more aware moving forward. We just look for emails and mailings to be letting us know when the planning board.
well, you wouldn't be on the 200-foot list because you don't live that close.
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, there you go. Then you would get when the board gets the application, you'll be notified that the application's in front of the board. Then you have to decide whether you're going to attend or not
Right.
attend those meetings at that time.
And the reality of this takes place, I just can't understand how, with the shopping center right here, and that traffic flow coming out, if we're lucky enough to keep the entrance and the exit on Pasco, and see in the homes going up at Seasons, would we double the size of Pascack Road? Is that even feasible?
I don't know if it's needed or not. The developers will have to present their case.
That's going to be too. Okay, a lot of change. Thank you.
Eric Sanchez, 146 Windsor Circle. Thank you for,
Good evening.
For all this information. It's quite helpful. I just have two questions. One is, what would happen if the developers pulled out? One, and what's the worst case scenario in your mind, assuming we still comply with the state? Because obviously we don't want to give that up. But what are we looking at in terms of the worst case that you could possibly imagine that would go against us?
Let me understand your question. If the developers don't
Yeah.
proceed with the development as
Yes.
the council zones,
Yes.
our only obligation is to comply with the mediation agreement, which requires us to adopt ordinances that permit the development we're describing and talking about tonight. We don't have any control over whether the developers actually do it, and that's not held against us. There is a 5-year review in 2030. We'll have to report to the state whether these developments actually occurred. If they did not occur, are there other sites that need to be looked at in order for us to meet our 19-unit obligation? I think there's a good evidence that even if these developments never happen, we'll be able to say the zoning is still very good and the plan is still very good. I think that we will have no impact whatsoever in terms of what the depending upon what the developers do here.
And is it 2030 fixed, or can the state move that up?
That's in the statute now.
That's in the statute.
I don't think they will move that. It's a review, and they'll just say, hey, why aren't these sites that we expected to be developed? Could you do something else somewhere else? Could you change the zoning to make it more attractive for a developer to do what was intended to do? And we would go through that analysis, and we would object to that. We would say, no, the zoning's appropriate. It was appropriate back then, and now to give a realistic potential or a realistic development of 19 affordable units, which is what our obligation is based upon our agreement.
And can you remind me, this all seems clustered around this area. Are there any other potential lots or spaces that could be a backup, or
So
this
as
is
the
it?
mayor mentioned,
Yeah.
where a developer approaches the town and says, hey,
Consider it.
there's available land, the owner wants to sell, I'm going to build. The statute requires you give priority and you give consideration to that. You can't say, no, we're going to put it somewhere else and we're only going to do 19. Our number would probably go up if we said we had other sites because you have an available developer. Remember, our number's 184 really, so that only persuades the court and Fair Share Housing to make our number not 19 but maybe 30.
So I guess to answer, I've always, since I've joined council, my biggest fear is that the Viviano property was able to be renegotiated, right? Because they're going to put 75 houses there one day, right? Mr. Mayor, how long have we been talking about it? 30 years at this point, right? It's about 30 years. So my biggest fear was that they've been waiting for all these new rounds of affordable housing to come out in order to be able to increase that number. And to date, after 30 years, that number is still holding at 75. So it started at 75 and it ended at 75. So that's good news for that site, but doesn't mean it can't change. But that was my biggest fear, was that the developers have been waiting for all these different rounds to come around to say, hey, we want to renegotiate this number, and it's held through all our settlements.
And is it the same developer or two developers that we're talking about for the potential units?
They're two different developers. Yeah, for 660 and here, it's two different developers.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to come up this time? Seeing no one, motion to close the public comment period.
Second.
Roll. What's that? Oh, on the ordinance, yeah, but I just want to make sure, but it says seeing no one, right? Yeah. I just want to make sure the comments are correct.
Make it for the ordinance.
Or you continue.
Yeah.
Motion to continue.
Motion to continue the public hearing for ordinance 2601 on March 16, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Ordinance number 2602, an ordinance of the Township of Washington, Bergen County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 580 zoning of the Township Code by creating new AH1 and AH2 affordable housing districts to permit inclusionary townhouse development on Block 2329, Lot 2, and Block 2110, Lot 1, and Lots 6 through 11. Increase the permitted residential density on Block 3202, Lot 3. Can we
Excuse us.
Can we quiet down or go outside, please? Increase the permitted residential density on Block 320201 Lot 3, and amend the required affordable housing set aside for Block 3505, Lot 1, in accordance with the Township's housing element and fair share plan. Resolution number 26-192, authorizing second reading and opening a public hearing for ordinance 2602. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do I have to ask if anybody would like to come up? I gotta ask if anybody want to come up. Would anybody like, what's that?
You have to, you roll call.
Roll call.
Councilman Gassion.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Would anybody like to discuss 26-192 at this time? Mr. Durso? Ordinance 2602, 26-192
Very hard
resolution.
to hear. They were all talking back here. Can you re-explain 26 to me real quick? Because I might have a question on it.
We're
Where
increasing
is it?
the density based on all the comments we had.
And where is this?
It is AH1, AH2 affordable housing districts to permit inclusionary townhouse development on Block 2329, Lot 2, and Block 2110, Lot 1 through 6 and 11.
Where is that?
It's
I
the
think
same.
that's both sites.
It's both sites. It's 660 in Valley Bank.
Okay, all right, that's what.
Basically to do what we said, the 72 units and the 32 units.
I'm so excited. I get to speak one more time real quick. So you mentioned,
We need to find a way, Jim.
you know so you guys are aware who the developers are. You had just said that at the end of to this gentleman over here.
Is
Is that public information yet? Who the two developers are? Because you said they're two different developers.
They're owners that have told us they have contract purchasers who want to
Okay, so
develop.
they're not developers. So it's the owner of the LLCs on both properties.
Correct.
Okay, so we're back at square one. So, all right, thanks, guys.
Would anybody else like to address ordinance 2602? Seeing no one, motion to continue the public hearing for ordinance 2602 on March 16, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Gassion.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Ordinance number 2603, an ordinance amending Chapter 513 entitled Development Fees of the Ordinances of the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-193, authorizing second reading and open a public hearing for ordinance 2603. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Gassion.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Would anybody like to speak on ordinance 2603? Seeing no one, motion to continue the public hearing for ordinance 2603 on March 16, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Gassion.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Introduction, first reading, none.
Mike, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are these ordinances and the fair share housing plan, are they available on the website in their entirety? Yes? Okay. Thank you.
Individual resolutions. Resolution number 26-174, authorize 2025 transfer of appropriations, $16,700. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Velez. Any discussion? Mr. Allman, you coming for discussion, or are you good?
There's only first reading. It's fine.
Roll call.
No, the transfer.
This is for the transfer of,
This is for the transfer.
Oh, the resolution.
16,000.
No question. No
what's
question.
that? No questions? Anybody else questions?
Nope.
Roll call.
Councilman Gassion.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolutions consent agenda. The following items have been determined to have the unanimous consent of council and will be enacted in one motion. Should any item require independent consideration, any council member may have such item removed from the consent agenda. Would anybody like any items removed at this time?
Yes. 176, 177, and 179 for separate votes.
For separate votes, okay.
181, 182, 194, 95, oh, I'm sorry, not 194, 95, 96, 97, and 98.
Okay. All right, we'll do them all individually, I guess.
Now you can do 4.
Resolution number 26-175, authorize refund of overpayment of property taxes Q1 2026 to CoreLogic for various properties as listed in the amount not to exceed $11,809. Resolution number 26-178, approval of certification list Township of Washington Volunteer Ambulance Corps members LoSAP program year 2025. Resolution number 26-180, authorize entry into a shared service agreement with the County of Bergen for secure high-speed fiber optic internet services. Resolution number 26-183, authorize entry into a shared service agreement for street sweeping services by and in between the Borough of Emerson and the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-194, authorize refund of engineering escrows and cash performance guarantees for various properties in the total amount of $20,795. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
If I can follow you, sure. I'm sorry,
You want to know which ones I did?
yeah,
I did 175,
yeah, you did 175,
178,
178,
180,
180.
183,
All right, hold on.
and 194.
182, you did 183 and 194.
Yep.
Okay. And then the rest-
And 182, 181 and 182 is for separate.
Separate.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna just mark these all at the same time. All right, I'm sorry, who motioned for these that we were doing?
Mr. Cassio and Mr. Sears.
Thank you very much.
Oh, was it?
Velez.
Oh, Ms. Velez, sorry.
Ms. Ledger, you were second?
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Cassio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
Yes.
Councilman Oman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution number 26-176, authorize establishing threshold of compensation to Zoning Board of Adjustment Engineer Boswell Engineering in the amount not to exceed $140,000 for services rendered in 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Who, Mr. Altman, did you draft it?
I didn't pull it.
Thank you for the.
Who pulled, Mr. Sears, you pulled it?
The discussion that I'm going to call for a set of votes. I don't believe in giving an open pocketbook to, for an endless, charging.
Well, I don't think it was, again, this is.
I don't like the
The verbiage was put in there that this is not a usage amount, right? It was just to make sure that they can.
According to Mr. Swisher.
So our auditors had recommended, or not recommended, they said that this was required as to be in compliance with the
If you guys are waiting for
regulations.
budget, we're not doing budget tonight. Okay. All right, just want to make sure.
And I heard the concern, and I believe the consensus of the council was to add language, and if you look at page 2, the first whereas clause, that whereas clause is meant to address the
Would you be able to read that to everybody,
Sure.
so we read it into the record?
Could you read that, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
I wanted to read it into the record.
Whereas
I looked through the forest of paper.
Whereas the said threshold amount is solely an estimate based on fees paid to the board engineer arising from applications to the board in 2025, and any amounts to be paid to the board engineer for year 2026 will be based upon applications to the board in 2026. Whereas the said threshold does not obligate the township or entitle the board engineer to payment in the said threshold amount.
Thank you. That's what we had agreed to at the last meeting. We wanted that put in there.
Then I will read.
Roll call?
Councilman Cassio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
No.
Councilman Oman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes. Mr. Sears, you had asked for 177 to be pulled. Was it for the same reason?
Same reason.
Okay. Resolution number 26-177, authorize established threshold of compensation to planning board engineer Paul Azalino of Azalino and Fury Engineering in the amount of not to exceed $140,000 for services rendered in 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Cassio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
No.
Councilman Oman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes. Resolution number 26-179, approval of certification lift Township of Washington Volunteer Fire Department Members LoSAP Program year 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Cassio?
Yes.
Councilman Sears?
Per law, I have to recuse myself from voting on this.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-181, designate internet posting for legal notice publications beginning March 1st, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I just had a question. Since it's now March 9th or 8th or whatever it is, we're saying March 1st.
That's because we didn't have a meeting on the 23rd.
I understand that, but does it have to be revised to?
No, because that's the law, March 1st. State law says March 1st, so it's retroactive, basically, March 1st.
And have we been complying?
Yes, we have. Actually, we haven't really had anything until like after tonight.
Okay, thank you.
So where's this internet posting at exactly?
I've read at the beginning of the meeting, there's a tab now on our website that shows it.
There's a public notice tab on our website, which in that public notice will have a link to the state website, which everybody, all the towns need to upload their URL so that people can go either to the state or to ours. It's kind of a back and forth with each other.
Any other discussion on this?
Mike, before you vote, Sue, do you want to share with me what you told me today about the?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
There was an email that did come over this morning from another clerk to the association stating that, God bless you, that CDBG grants are federal grants, so therefore they have to be in the newspaper. They cannot be just on the websites. So we will make sure that we enter the CDBG in the newspaper. So we'll always have a budget of some sort for that.
Okay.
So that was interesting news this morning.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mayor,
it
for the reminder.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-182, authorize entry into a shared service agreement for sale and purchase of brine from the Borough of Hawthorne. I'll make the motion for that one. Thank God.
Big on brine. Mike's
Yeah, I'm big on brine.
Okay. Good to know.
Roll call?
Oh,
sorry,
second.
Mike.
Question?
Go ahead,
Wait,
Mike.
who's second?
So,
Sears.
Thank you.
I guess my question is, who did we previously buy it from? And has there been a gap? So have we not been able to apply it for the recent storms because we're just entering into it now?
So we purchased it from a private company that has since gone out of business of dealing with brine. And that was like the beginning of the winter season. So we haven't put it down since then. And then we were able to speak with Hawthorne and, want to share entered into this shared agreement with them. Hopefully we won't have to use it.
Until next winter.
Until next winter.
Mark, wasn't the price better?
Yeah,
What
it's
we're
50
getting from
cents
the
a
private
gallon.
company.
But at least we got it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was the brine truck, is the brine truck dedicated for brine? Or is it
I believe it has a plow on it, so it's not, it's not like it just sits there, but, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a back attachment that can be lifted off the truck, and I just don't know.
No, so I guess I was asking, so we haven't been applying brine, but has the truck been sitting idle? Or
No.
have we been able to redeploy it?
Yeah, it's redeployed. It has a plow on the front.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Resolution number 26-195, authorize adopting the affirmative marketing plan for the Township of Washington. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So
What is it?
I guess my question is, we mentioned, or it was mentioned, that these are sort of ordinances that are required as part of our affordable housing.
Yeah, under our mediation agreement, as well as the DCA regulations associated with promulgated pursuant to the amended FHA. The the township is required to adopt all of these companion resolutions that feed the plan and implement all of the provisions so that, you know, they operate correctly. So the first is the adoption of an affirmative marketing plan that is modeled almost word for word and prepared by our affordable housing administrator. And actually, Joe Burgess prepared this, but it's modeled after what, you know, precisely the DCA form. What basically they told us, everybody adopt this. And I'm going to say that's pretty much the same as the following resolutions that you see. The administrative agent operating manual was prepared by our administrative agent. Sue, she and I talked on the phone Friday to make sure it was accurate and it had all of the correct information and updated information. So that's another adopted or else type of document. The affordability assistance manual, again, same type of a document. The spending plan is something that Joe Burgess, his office prepared based upon what's in our existing account, projections for spending over the course of the round, and that all was prepared in conjunction with our affordable housing administrator, input from Joy Apar, our municipal liaison, and Joe Burgess.
So I guess my question is, where, if anywhere, does the council have the ability to influence this if we wanted to? So, you know, I've mentioned in the planning meetings as well as the council meeting, my strong desire to make these units a priority for veterans. And you pointed out there's language 50%. Can we say it needs to be 70%?
No, that's a maximum threshold. These units are for affordable families. They want families are a priority to the state. And then it's, very low. You have to have a certain percentage. So they're pretty strict in terms of what the council can do in terms of manipulating what that population, an additional requirement, so to speak. So whatever we can do is in there. I'm not sure if that veterans language is the only way. I'll have to go through and maybe I'll do a little summary of any additional flexibilities permitted.
Do we have flexibility to prioritize residents?
I don't believe we do. We have a region 1 that we have to market to. And once we market affirmatively based upon our affirmative marketing plan, then the applicants come in. And again, it's prioritized based upon a lot of different factors that are laid out in the regulations and not necessarily residents. I can double check and make sure that there's no way we can't give some percentage to residents. I can look at that.
I mean, I would love to stack it as much as possible into, my priorities would be veterans and then residents. I don't know, the rest of the council certainly has.
Based on what Mr. Burgess presented to us at the zoning board when I was on zoning, that is not, you're not going to have that happen.
Well,
but Ms. Bailey could look at it.
This is a brand new, I'm not going to say for sure. I can almost bet you, if we were going to bet right now, I can bet you that that's not a permitted restriction. But this stuff is literally coming off the presses as we're adopting it.
I agree with you, Mike. If we can do it, we should do it, because we had asked the same thing, and he told us it wasn't permitted. So maybe it is now.
Can we legally advertise for veterans for these units?
Yeah.
How would we
the marketing,
get the message out?
The marketing team would.
We would have in our developers agreement with the developer that you must.
It's crazy.
You must market to or provide for veterans for at least 50% of the affordable units being provided. So
it's like when we did the units here at the OVFW.
Yeah.
They were all supposed to be veterans units, and they couldn't get veterans. They couldn't fill them all up with veterans, correct?
And they have to be
No,
low-income
They
veterans.
put two for seniors, two for veterans. But my goal is how do I get this message out to veterans? How do we, are we legally responsible? Can we legally put a newspaper article in there saying, 50% of the upcoming homes in this development?
It's all handled by the agent. It's all handled by the agent.
Can we legally do that?
We can amplify. I mean, we have social media. As
Right.
long as it's not
Well, that's
breaking
right.
the
Any
law.
type of social media.
We'd have to check
are
with
we-
the agent to make sure that's acceptable.
Yeah, are we
But we should use,
able to do that?
Like Porkridge sent in stuff today, and I sent it to Heather. Heather's got a lot of stuff going up for all the different places. Porkridge just sent one in, I think, today.
yeah, I mean,
Last week it was.
Well,
another
you
one
see
from
the ones
different
coming
towns.
from the county
Yeah,
yes.
coming out.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
She
can put
does a
them up
great
on the
job
web-
of putting
on the
as
website.
much information out there.
We get
so.
it, we push it to you, and,
And then
All right.
my last question is, who controls the disposition of the trust? The use. So right now, I think we're using a lot of it to pay for all of this administration.
Right.
And now we're not on the hook, but we are going to use this to the extent possible to purchase the one additional unit. If there's monies left over, how is the disposition of those funds managed?
It's pretty strictly regulated. The administrative agent, together with the municipal liaison, have to follow all of those rules and regulations in terms of the disposition of any monies out of that fund. I can't recite to you what they are or how they work right now, but I can certainly dig into it. But that is administered all,
I mean,
all in accordance with the regulations.
I tried to read this.
Yeah.
It's not really written in plain English. But I'll give it I would not ask you to do that. Let me try it again, but I would like to understand where this money is because it's going to,
It's going to build up.
If they start building, there's going to be monies here. And, if there's an opportunity for us to do something proactively with it, as opposed to letting it sit there.
It can only be used toward affordable housing.
Understood, but
Okay.
I know, I don't think we have any rehabilitation
We have
units.
zero rehabilitation needs, so that would not be an appropriate use.
But could we purchase a house and rehabilitate it? What in Hillsdale, they did one right off Main Street.
leave it open.
Steve,
No,
leave the
leave it
door
open.
And put it toward our unmet need, you mean?
Unmet need,
I would imagine, yes.
We're in open
I would
session.
imagine, yes, it would,
okay.
yeah.
All right, thank you very much. I don't have any other questions, so I don't know if you want to do.
I can do all four. Anybody have any questions on all of these, so I could do them all in one shot? All right, resolution,
You motion, you second on 195.
yeah, let's do 195 and then I'll do the other
Yeah,
three.
that's what I was thinking.
Go ahead, roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Omen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President Pacetta.
Yes. Resolution number 26-196, authorize adopting,
Do the rest?
I'm gonna do all three, yeah.
Yeah. Through 198?
Yep, but I gotta read them, right?
Yes.
You don't want me to read them?
Yes, you may read them.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm on the right.
I just want to make sure I'm continuing.
You're doing.
Resolution number 26-196, authorize adopting the administrative agent operating manual for the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-197, authorize adopting the affordability assistance manual for the Township of Washington. Resolution number 26-198, authorize adopting an amended affordable housing trust fund spending plan. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Omen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez.
Yes.
Council President Pacetta.
Yes. Motion to adjourn to conference agenda.
So, Mr. President, we take.
All in
five.
favor? Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll take a 5-minute recess.
Mhm.
To enter into closed session.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye. We'll take a 5-minute recess. Thank you.